So there are two types of conservatorship or custody in Texas. One of them is where both parents are considered joint managers, meaning both of them are very involved with the custody of the child or the children, and the other one is sole managing conservatorship, meaning that only one of the parents will be making most of the decisions, and that could be based on the past of the family relationship, if there was violence, if one person is far away from home for a long time, things like that. The best interest of a child is a concept that is somewhat undefined in the sense that you have to take consider the totality of circumstances. And for example, a child has a right to develop bonds, a relationship with each parent, but also they have the right to live in a stable environment, in a safe environment. So there's a number of factors that will be considered when the judge makes a decision about the custody of the child. And essentially, that will be based on the best interest of the child. The way to change the custody order starts by filing a petition with the court asking them to make a change in the custody order for whatever the reason. For example, it could be that you need to relocate. It could be that there's been some changes in what's been happening during that period. For example, violence or a number of things, abandonment, you haven't seen the other parent, or things like that. Normally, it can only be done once every 3 years in Texas, or if there's a change in circumstances. For example, again, if there's been violence, all of a sudden, or one of the spouses becomes violent against the child or against the other parent, that person can ask for a change in the custody orders just to reflect whatever the needs are at the time. The question about moving a child after divorce is subject to the custody orders. For example, many times there will be a restriction. Like, for example, it's very typical that when there's a divorce granted, there will be a custody order affecting the children, and that custody order will say something like the parent that has the primary custody can only move within that same county and neighboring counties. So that's the most common type of restriction. However, if the visiting parent, if the non-custodial parent moves somewhere else, then the other parent, the one that has primary custody, then would have the right to go and move somewhere else. Occasionally, there may be, again, very good reason to ask the court for authorization to move, and that could be because, for example, let's say that's an excellent job opportunity somewhere far away. So the petitioner would need to go and explain and convince the judge that there's a very good reason and it's in the best interest of the child that they move to somewhere else in the country. However, even in those cases, the judge will probably ask the petitioner to provide a plan of how the relationship with the non-custodial parent is going to continue. Let's say more time spent during vacation time, things like that. If you have any questions about custody, call our office, the law office of Mario Varela.